Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Alex and welcome. In today's video, we're going to be talking about some Invisalign. I have been in Invisalign now for, it's been like 17 weeks, so I've gathered a bunch of information on things that I think you guys should know about Invisalign before you start or right when you start, so you can have a good experience and know some good tips and tricks from me. I'm also a dental hygienist in Invisalign, so I have experience from myself and some of my patients that ask me questions about Invisalign. So, and the vlog where you can actually come with me and get my actual buttons and everything for my Invisalign and put on is also up on my channel. I will link it right here for you guys if you are more interested in that. Okay guys, I have a list so that we stay organized of a couple of the things I want to talk about. So one of the number one things that's really important to me with the Invisalign is cleaning them. So I literally like to think of the Invisalign as a whole nother set of teeth sitting on top of my teeth. If you think about it, my teeth are like this, the tray is like this, they click straight in, when I'm done with them they click straight out. So it's almost like a whole nother set of teeth that you have to take care of every single day. I can't even imagine not trying to brush or use mouthwash or cleaning crystals, anything on these, and just wearing them for 2 weeks. You can tell when the 2-week period is rolling around, they're starting to get super duper spitty and starting to look a little dingy, and you're just really over them. So if you're like me and you're super anal about trying to keep them clean, one of the number one things I have found that helps me a lot is the mouthwash. So Invisalign does not have a specific mouthwash solely for people to use while they're in Invisalign. So one of the things that I have found to be the most important while you're in the Invisalign trays is clear mouthwashes. My favorite one right here is the Crest 3D White Glamorous Whitening Mouthwash. This one has hydrogen peroxide in it, so it gets a little bit foamy and it's completely clear. The number one tip that I want you guys to take away from the mouthwash thing is the clearness. I was using the Listerine Zero Alcohol mouthwash, and it kind of has like a blue-greenish tinge. And the very first time that I used one of these on one of my trays, when I took it out of the mouthwash, it had stained my entire tray like a green-blue color. So then I had to continue the rest of the 2 weeks with like green trays. If you can only imagine how cute that was. So if you use a clear mouthwash, the hydrogen peroxide almost bubbles up inside of the trays. When I'm in the shower is when I put them in the mouthwash. And when you take them out, it's like you can see what all the bacteria the hydrogen peroxide has taken care of for you. Plus the mouthwash is clear, so it won't stay in your trays. And it's minty, so it kind of helps refresh these trays, because to be honest, when you wear these 22 out of 24 hours a day, your mouth starts to feel dingy. Okay, you just want some mouthwash. So this clear one right here by Crest is a super good one to help you clean your trays without staining them. Okay, so while we're on the topic of cleaning trays, I'm gonna go ahead and do the next thing that I know are the best tools for cleaning the trays. So when you get your Invisalign, your dentist is going to give you this little gold box right here. This is from the actual Invisalign brand. It's called their cleaning crystals. It's basically more of like a deep cleaning type tool that come in little crystal packets like this that you can put in water and pop the trays into to clean them, as like a more deep cleaning tool than like an everyday brush and mouthwash situation that I like to do whenever I'm in the shower. However, if you run out of these, because you only get so many when you start, my dentist will start to charge for them. So if you guys are at Walmart and you see these little Polydent, little efferent looking tabs, they're technically for like dentures and partials and stuff like that. Well, they're pretty much the exact same thing. So if you take one of these little tablets and you drop it in a cup of water, it also gets really fizzy. And the purpose of it is pretty much to clean them and take away the bacteria. So pop one of these little packages that you can get in the denture section at like Walmart and Walgreens into a cup with your Invisalign trays and take them out, and voila, it's pretty much the exact same thing. If you find that one is more expensive than the other for you, or your dentist can't supply them to you anymore, you should try these out. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk to you guys a little bit about is the actual trays themselves. So when you're in Invisalign, the dental assistant or the dentist, whoever is helping you with your case, will usually give you several sets of trays at a time. So they might give you, 5 little baggies, and on the baggies they'll write the exact date that you're supposed to take your old trays out and put your new trays in, right? To me, that little baggie is super important, and you're supposed to wear those trays for 2 weeks at a time. So that is a long amount of time to have a tray, and it's super easy to lose them, right? So what I recommend is, if say you're switching into tray 8, you should always keep tray 7, and the bag that you take tray 8 out of to put into your mouth, you should take your old trays and put them in, reseal it, and keep it in a drawer. So you should always keep the tray before the tray that you have in, just as backup, because if you ever lose your Invisalign trays, they charge you to remake that specific set of tray that you lost. So if you at least have your old ones to go back to while you're waiting for your new one to come in, your teeth won't move that much. Or if you're almost done with your tray, you can almost maybe get away with popping your old one in for a couple days until you're able to get your next new one. So basically, moral of the story is, for a backup plan, you should always keep the previous tray before the tray that you're on, just in case something bad would happen. And then the second thing that I want to talk about with the actual trays themselves is the fact that I think that you guys should wear them for 2 weeks. I know everybody's length of treatment is different. For instance, I have 16 trays at 2 weeks each. So, I mean, to me, that's a considerable amount of time to be in Invisalign. But I know there's some cases at my office where people have like 38 trays or something crazy like that. So that is a really long time to be in Invisalign, and kind of towards the end, I know that you get a little bit anxious and you kind of want to keep the ball rolling and get it done with. However, I definitely think that you should wear each tray for the 2 weeks. I know some people like to bump their trays forward and wear them faster, wear them for a week only or 10 days only. You should definitely do whatever your dentist tells you to do, but personally, I think wearing the tray for the full 2 weeks is the best way to prevent any type of gum recession where your gum is pulled away from your teeth any more than they have to, any bone loss, loosening of your teeth, any of those scary things that you read online. If you just wear your trays for the set amount of time that they propose for you to do, and you move them and then let them stay in that position for a couple of days while your bone is regenerating and stuff like that, it's just definitely easier on the mouth than constantly moving in position next tray, moving in position next tray. You just need to give your mouth a little bit of a break, and I can say from experience, I feel my trays the heaviest at the very beginning when I put them in, nothing kind of towards the middle, and then heaviest again a couple days right before I'm supposed to take them out, because it's like your teeth want to go back to where they came from. So I definitely believe in wearing your trays for the full 2 weeks. Don't rush it, guys. Okay, and another thing that I want to talk about with the actual trays themselves are that whenever you pop them in and they are a new set of trays, sometimes they can be really tight. Really tight, which is good. It makes you feel like your teeth are moving and you're doing what you're supposed to, right? But sometimes when you seat them in, the trays have little bumps on them that attach to the little bumps on your teeth, which are called these buttons are what help move the teeth. So kind of like braces have brackets, Invisaligns have buttons. They're clear so you can't see them, like when I smile or talk. They're just what click into these to help make them move. So when you first get a new tray and you click it in, sometimes a certain section on the teeth won't seat all the way, or it's like bouncy. So for instance, whenever I had my third or fourth set of trays, I popped them all in, and on one side of my very back molars, the tray was like sitting up straight and it would not click into my teeth at all, meaning it would not seat. That is okay. We have so many patients that call the first day that they pop their trays in, and they're like, oh my gosh, my trays won't fit on my teeth. I wore the last tray for the full 2 weeks and these trays won't fit. What should I do? Nothing. It's just that sometimes the first day or two right after you put a new set of trays on, the trays almost feel bouncy, like you can make them move is the best way to describe it. It's okay. Give it a day or two, and as your teeth shift into the correct position, that tray will click all the way in and it will seat the way that it's supposed to. Give it a day or two to let it sink in. If you're still experiencing this problem several days after you have supposedly put your trays in, then you can contact your doctor, but give it a second to let the trays settle in is what we always tell our patients. So don't freak out right away if the trays feel like they're bouncing around in your mouth or they're not clicked in all the way. Just really make sure you push it in with your fingers, or you bite down on a towel if you need help pushing the trays all the way onto your teeth. Okay, so another thing that I want to talk about with the Invisalign trays is that the name Invisible is literally in the name. A lot of people that I see on the internet, or some of the patients, get the Invisalign put on and they look at it and they're like, oh god, I can actually see it a lot. I thought this was going to be invisible. And you have to think of it as this is a huge step up from metal braces. Of course, anything that you're putting on your teeth to mechanically move them into a different position is not going to be virtually invisible where nobody around you will notice. This right here is definitely the closest thing that we have to clear technology to move your teeth without people being able to 100% notice. I feel like unless you get super close to me, you honestly can't even tell that I have Invisalign in. Once I've gotten used to talking with them and using them in my life and stuff like that. Braces have like metal brackets that physically move your teeth in the way that they're supposed to, and the Invisaligns have the buttons. So the Invisalign buttons are these little kind of bumpy things right here on the sides of the teeth and the tray itself. Whenever you snap it into my teeth, whenever I talk, it's not really like you can see them. It pretty much just looks like I'm wearing a clear retainer, like I actually just got my metal braces taken off, is all it looks like. You honestly cannot see the buttons or anything like that unless I talk and smile really big. And who does that? So yes, the answer is no, Invisalign is not 100% invisible, but what would any technology that's supposed to be moving your teeth like braces would be invisible? Okay, more on keeping your mouth nice and fresh when you have a lot of spit collecting around these trays and it tastes like spit and you just want something fresh, right? You can 100% not do gum in Invisalign trays. Trust me, I've tried to break the rules and get around it, and I've actually gotten gum wadded up, wrapped around my teeth and my trays, and I've had to dig it out. Not a fun sight. The best thing I can recommend are the Icebreakers little circle package of mints. I don't have any here for you guys to show you, but I'll try to pop a picture up on the screen. But those Icebreaker mints are ADA approved, which means American Dental Association, which means there's no extra added sugars in any of their products, which is good. You guys definitely don't want to be using any type of mints that have sugars in them, because think about it. If you pop a sugary mint into your mouth and get it all mixed into your spit and your saliva, and then the mint is gone, okay, that sugar is still floating around in your mouth, and now you've let that seep up under your trays and literally sit on your teeth for the next 22 hours when you have your trays in. You're only allowed to use mints that have absolutely no sugar in them to freshen your breath, because trust me honey, getting your teeth all in line and then your dentist tells you that you have 20 new cavities. Not cool. Another big rule with the Invisalign is that you want to do clear liquids only. So many people are so worried about, well, what happens if my clear Invisalign trays stain? And yeah, that 100% can happen because you're wearing this in your mouth for 2 weeks at 22 hours at a time. But the way that you can make that happen the least is only drinking clear liquids with your Invisalign trays. So no teas, no sodas, absolutely no soda, no alcohol drinks, no anything like that. Clear liquids only. So basically water. And secondly is after you eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever you have that you are not at home, to immediately brush your teeth before putting your Invisalign trays back in. I 100% recommend keeping a spare toothbrush, mouthwash, package of floss, whatever in your purse or your car. It's easy if you have a purse, I'm sorry guys. But basically I just don't recommend eating any type of meal and then immediately putting your trays back in. I just think that's a huge no-no. You're just letting all of that food and bacteria sit on your teeth, and then you're pretty much locking it into place by putting a clear plastic retainer over the top of it, and none of that bacteria can escape because you just lock that stuff in place. So definitely huge no-no to eat any type of meals and pop your trays right back in. Definitely make it to a bathroom so that you can brush everything out of there before you put your trays back in, please guys. And then the last and most simplest step of all is this little case that Invisalign gives you before you start your treatment. This is the new black case. They used to use a red or a blue one, but this is the new one that's really sleek and shiny. But this case that they give you guys before you start your treatment should be your best friend. If you're going to go to the movies and take your trays out before you eat popcorn, put them in here. If you're going to go to your friend's house for a sleepover and you don't want to wear them for an hour when you're taking pictures, put them in here. Anything that you're doing where you're ever going to take your trays out and put them anywhere, put them in here. Trust me, I've taken them out and set them down on a napkin at a restaurant and lost them and had to go back to the restaurant because I did not put them in here. This guy should be your best friend, and anytime the trays come out, they go in here, they go in your purse, they go in your pocket, whatever. You will not lose your trays if you keep them with their best friend. Okay guys, and that is it. These are some things that I wish I would have started on my first tray, or some things I would have wished that I would have known before I started that I think would help you guys out on your Invisalign journey. If you guys have any more questions on Invisalign tips or tricks or anything with your case, just drop them in the comments bar down below. I'll see if I can answer them for you guys, and I will catch you all in my next video. Bye guys!